Hello, everybody.
Hope you all are fine. Let's begin third unit of our course book. This unit is titled as Challenges of Life. Let me ask you, what is your ambition? What do you want to become in your future? See, after you completed your 10th standard, when you want to join for higher secondary course, that time you were given number of options. As we all know, there are different streams in higher secondary courses. Out of this, you have opted science. Some others have opted commerce or humanities. Anyway, when you have opted this science, you have your own ambition, you have your own thought. After you completed this, you want to fulfill this dream. So, we all know that we want to get a good career in our future. So, what actually the yardstick of choosing a good career? Let me read. Take your textbook, page number 75.
A career should undoubtedly be success oriented. The definitions of success have changed in the modern world. Success is not just making money, it's about pursuing excellence to make a difference in the society.
It's clear that career should be success based, and success is not just making money. It is just pursuing the excellence and also making a difference in the society. So children, it is often heard that it's very easy to swim with the current, and just we want to do the opposite direction, it's very difficult. As such, we all mostly go behind the usual things or careers, and it's not actually easy for us to start or to take initiative for beginning a type of enterprise. There we want a special character, special talents. We studied, I think, first lesson, 3 L's of empowerment. The Christian Lagarde pointed out that once we dare the difference will deliver. So if you want to create something different, we all have to act differently. See, success actually comes to those who think differently and act differently. Right? Again, it is an often quoted saying or statement by Shiv Khera's words, you all know sometimes. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. So all these statements, what actually tell us? So we want to have a type of difference or confidence. We have to start something. We have to make use of the given opportunities. It is not good to go behind the usual ways. The poet I would like to recall Robert Frost. One of his poems we already studied, Melting Word. There is yet another poem by this poet titled Road Not Taken. There he himself was speaking. Actually, he chose a way which was not usually chosen by others. And there he made difference. Such a way we want to deal with the situation. We have to be confident enough to behave, to act differently. See Gandhiji's words. If you want difference, he said, be the change you want to see in the world. We want to become different. All these points we all have to keep in mind. In this unit, we are introduced to young enterprises in India who have proved, both of them have proved their ways, and that benefited themselves and also others. Let us see what actually they contributed to India and how they got benefited out of it. Firstly, we have an interview. Title is Three-Wheel Revolution. It's an interview with Irfan Alam. Who is Irfan Alam? Let me read.
Irfan Alam is the founder and chairman of Saman Foundation, an Indian company which organizes the rickshaw pulling sector in Bihar. Through his leadership, Saman has implemented innovations to increase operator income such as advertising and music, newspapers, first aid, water and juice for the passengers. Alam was also the first person to introduce prepaid cycle rickshaws in India. In only 2 years, Alam has built a family of over 100,000 rickshaw operators across 9 states in India. Although a first-generation entrepreneur, Alam's effort to empower those at the bottom of India's social hierarchy have been recognized widely. He has won the Business Bazigar and the World Bank's Innovation Award. Alam has also been recognized by the Times of India as one of the top 30 youth icons of India, and his business model was recently featured by The Economist. At the Entrepreneurship Summit held at Washington, D.C. in 2010, President Obama complimented Irfan Alam with the words, "You are doing a tougher job than me."
Okay. Now, it's very clear that he founded a new company which targeted the upliftment of the poor people, these rickshaw pullers. You all know they are the marginalized group of people. He started working with them, thereby their life, there actually came improvement and their life totally changed. So I think it is better to listen from him directly. Why he had introduced such a company here? What actually he wanted to achieve? First, you all listen his words. Then we will have a clear picture about it. Then we can go directly to the questions and the responses here given. Okay. Now, listen.
Well, first of all, I would like to endorse Vijay's views that in India, most of the parents trust that if you are a guy who have to acquire engineering degree. If you are a girl, then you have to acquire a medical degree. So I'm no exception. But just to add something on this, I belong to an area, a state in India, where doing business is taboo. Because majority of the people, they aspire to join government services, civil servants. That's the highest level of aspirations, and the ratio in Indian bureaucracy, Indian civil services, my own state contributes 15% of total Indian bureaucrats, the civil servants. So that they have all the reason to boast on that. But doing a social business is a social crime. A business is taboo, but a social business is almost a crime. Or if I could, boast on something, what I have achieved being a social entrepreneur, I could only say, apart from my community, which I will definitely share, that somehow I have been able to influence people, which is almost 20 times in population than Singapore. I've been able to influence them to choose entrepreneurship, and especially social entrepreneurship, as mainline career. That is what exactly social entrepreneurs does. And the way I have started, exactly, very rightly Amar said that I saw an opportunity at the bottom of the pyramid, a micro transport system. But before that, I must mention here that my journey has actually, my entrepreneurial journey began at the age of 13. And my father had lost his savings in a stock market crash in early 90s. And we had a bad time. So, being a curious and a strong-headed kid, I took a resolution within me. I'll recover this money. And I started trading in the market, doing pretty well. In mid-90s, when telecommunications was almost, mobile phones was almost introducing in India, I used to pay 50 cents for incoming calls because I was enjoying mobile, because I was a regular trader in the market. But even after paying 50 cents, I was making money, dollars and cents. I was pretty happy doing that. But one incident which changed the whole, life. I was coming back from my college to my place in a rickshaw, cycle rickshaw, which is a micro transport medium in India. And the number of cycle rickshaws is almost double of Singapore population, which is 10 million. And each one in a rickshaw operator feeds a family of 5, so 10 times of Singapore population. They are engaged into this work. But imagine if I say that imagine a world which is 10 times than Singapore population, but they don't have access to finance, they don't have money to have 2-time meal, don't have shelter to live, don't have health facilities, no sanitation, education. How would he react? If I may ask, how would you react? May I get my answer? I'm told, and which is true, that Singapore is one of the most enterprising country. So if I could ask this question, all of you, all the audience, I guess that there is an opportunity. And this is what exactly I saw. I felt that, it's a big market. 10 million people. And these 10 million carries 400 million people every day. They interact one-on-one basis because one rickshaw operator carries 40 commuters a day. Imagine there is a market. Is that we have a medium which interact one-on-one with 400 million people. Is there an opportunity? Yes, there is. We'll talk later about that opportunity. And 50 million people are engaged into this work. I mean, they're depending upon this. So yes, there is an opportunity. So, like any other entrepreneur, this idea struck to my mind that, well, if here is an opportunity, so why not allow these people to, or equip these people, or make them capable to invest in stock markets? Yeah, I'm sure you might have feeling that I'm talking at the height of 30,000 feet. But yes, this was exactly what came in my mind, that I'm anyways dealing with the stock markets. I'm investing my, on behalf of my clients. So my clients who are already capable, who have got money, I'm just investing on their behalf. So what is the next level? The next level was that, can I create somebody, or can I equip somebody, or can I make somebody capable to invest in the market? So that is what exactly I'm catering with. Cycle rickshaw operators, if I could give you an idea, overview of the market, 90% of cycle rickshaw operators, I'm talking about non-motorized vehicle, which is manually pulled for short distances in India. 90% of them have got, as I mentioned, that no financial access, no basic education, no skills, nothing. They survive on barely minimum resources. So it was a big challenge, but yet it was a big opportunity. And I inquired about the whole market, and when I tried to research the whole market, I found that there are some issues. Like any corporate, when we research the market, when we make strategy or marketing or whatever strategy to launch our product, so we go deep in that. So when I researched the market, I found that there are some issues. And what are those issues? The issues was that they are migratory in nature. Most of them, they come from rural part of the country to urban part of the country to earn livelihood. So they go back again. Most of them are agri workers. So they do some harvesting work, and after post-harvesting work, they come back to urban areas to earn their livelihood. And rickshaws are the last mean for their livelihood. But I took it as an opportunity that if they go back, so we can connect those areas, and if they come in urban areas, so definitely we can have some solutions. So here is a pyramid. I call it pyramid of opportunities. First opportunity was livelihood. Decided to, in India, which I must mention, that 90% of them, they never own rickshaw. I mean, they never own vehicle. Like taxi driver, never own taxi most of the time. But in India, interestingly, and they take it on rent. I mean, from fleet owner who owns some 50, 60, 100 rickshaws. They own it from them. They take it on rent, pull it for a day. At the end of the day, they pay rentals. But that's not the end of the story. The real problem lies there. When they go back, irrespective of fact, whether they earn or they don't earn, they have to pay rent. Or if they fail to pay rent, they will have to pay interest on that. That is where exploitation starts. They go back, and since they don't have any banking access, so they go back and park their savings with the fleet owners, which never gets back. So here was an problem, but for me it was an opportunity. So I decided that let's make them owners of those rickshaws. So what we do, our intervention is very, very simple. We get them credit through banks and financial institutions in India to buy rickshaws so that they can decide their hours of working, freedom of hours. Then we ensure that these guys start earning more. That was the basic idea, that how we can make them, we can help them to earn little more so that, they will be capable enough to invest in the market or to save money or to have a better, living standard. So we decided that let us leverage mobility of rickshaw. We designed rickshaw in such a way where we can use it for advertising, communications, as you can say, product sales, delivery. So the core of the idea is these rickshaw drivers who generally goes, short distances with slow pace, slow mobility, interact with the commuters one-on-one. So we started doing this. When you take a ride in our rickshaw, you can have water, you can ask for juices, you can get recharge your mobile phone, you can have newspaper, you can read, you can enjoy music. And this all came with one small idea, that can we give them opportunity to earn a little more? Because personally, me and our organization believe that every life has an equal value and money powers life. Plus, they have better earning, they won't have access to anything. Whether it is finance, whether it is health, education, training, nothing. So, our organizations help them to earn more by introducing these products. So each of the rickshaw driver, we give them special training to sell products, to do advertising, to deal with customer in a better way. This is how it is. This is how we conduct training. I'm sure you must be wondering, then where is the social quotient? My dear friends, the social quotient is, we are glad to say that now we are a family of 500,000 rickshaw operators, 500,000, and each of them have started earning 30% up than the traditional rickshaw drivers. Because each of the rickshaw driver, he carries an identity card, he has got a bank account, we have a customer care number where you can track those rickshaw drivers, you can book rickshaw over phone. So by doing that, credibility has come. And because of the simple credibility and dignity of labor, they have started earning more. Since they are earning more, they have started saving money because they have got now banking access. Since they have got savings now, they aspire to send their kids to school. Now their kids are going to school. They are dreaming to not to join this profession, but to get into something 1 or 2 or 3 level up. We have cases where our rickshaw operators' kids are now becoming engineers and doctors. So that is the whole idea, that is the whole social quotient, that can we link them with the mainstream of the society? Can we make them capable to sit with us? And it will only happen when they are financially strong.
You all have listened his words. So we all came to know that he was targeting this marginalized poor class people's upliftment. So he innovated a new type of method. How do you think that is what actually making use of the given opportunities? This type of ability that we all should have. See, again, I want to remind you this statement. Sometimes I have often given this type of statement earlier. Anyway, it's very important. See, situational knowledge is very important. Situational knowledge. So we have to apply our knowledge situationally. That awareness is important and it's very good even. That brings success. Okay. Now, it is clear that if we are not actually, or if the development doesn't reach to the lower class people, or if they are not actually becoming happy, or if they are not having this happy state, the world around us, or we cannot even enjoy this the taste of happiness. You all read this line given in your textbook. If we aspire to live in a happier world, we must empower those living on the margins of society. So we have to make sure that all the developments or all the developmental process, its effects, its consequences, everything reaches to this group of people, lower class people. See, Gandhiji always, you all know that words, he always wanted, or he said, sometimes you heard this, the soul of India lives in villages. That means villages have to be empowered. Then only we can say India is developed. So, Irfan Alam was targeting this group of people and he was successful. Got it? So, an interview with him that is given in your textbook. See, this interview was conducted by Sujata Ram Prasad in the year 2010. You can easily read every question and what actually its responses. There are very clear responses. After reading these responses, we all know how this eminent personality, this youth icon, what actually he was planning and what actually he was doing with this particular organization. Okay. So first item, first question. When and how did you conceive this idea? Conceive. You all know conceive. Conceive here means make into effect. Okay. So, in other way, we can say, when did you think about this? There, Irfan speaks all his experiences, right? When he was traveling in Rishabh once, he had a particular situation he faced. That thought actually made to have such an organization. Got it? So you can read very easily. Try to read all the responses. Then second one, you were very young when you came up with and executed this idea. Execute means apply. So question is about this young man's genius okay, he could execute this idea when he was very young. So, what made him to think that way? There he gives about his experience of his father. His father had a business tragedy, like he lost his money in a business. So that he says. So he wanted to get that money. So that way he thought. So he was very much concerned about his father's loss in the share market. You see, how was he closely connected with his father's concerns? So that situation that he kept in his mind and worked in this way, that resulted to have such an organization named Saman. Okay. The next is, what was the spark that revived? Spark here meaning motivation. So motivation. So actually there he was listing or speaking about one of the programs that he attended by the name of reality show. There he presented his business proposal, and that was accepted, and he was offered a bulk capital, but he rejected it. Why? Just you read and find it out. Actually he was socially committed, and he by no means he was thinking about to have his own profit. Okay, so all these thoughts indirectly resulted to act differently. Okay, so this is what actually he speaks. Then other question, was Saman started with this seed money? Seed that actually offered by that TV channel. Right? So he says he totally rejected. Why? Just I mentioned you earlier, just you read it. That will be clear. Then other question, when did this turn into a true social venture? Social venture in the sense that social enterprise. So he slowly started to think how to improve the society, how to give them, how to give these types of very poor people a good life. So all these thoughts actually he had, and I think when you listened his words directly, there he stated all these things. Right? So he wanted to make his society developed and happy. A happy society he dreamt. So that is why he thought that way. Okay. Then other question is, can you describe the operation model of Saman? Operation model, how this Saman is functioning. Right. So there are certain steps. Okay, for every business organization, there will be some guidelines and directions, procedures. As such, how is Saman working? Okay, so he is giving these types of directions one by one. Right, just you read and find it out. Okay, then how does Saman help increase the revenue of the rickshaw pullers? Increasing revenue. There are some other methods that he gives these poor people along with the pulling of this rickshaw. What are these other works? Just to read, and using this technique, he ensured this growth of income of these poor people. Okay, then the other question is, does Saman get directly involved in microfinancing? Microfinancing, actually he says that his company Saman is not at all giving directly money to these people. Just instead of that, they provide these people to access of loan, credit facility. So that view he shares as this response. Now, another question: aren't Saikar Shah a dying breed? Dying breed, you all know, a dying venture. Okay, a losing business. So that is not actually a progressive or a fashionable thing. So nobody will choose this type of conveyance. Rickshaw pullers. Nobody will depend them. So it will be outdated. So he is very confident here. He had studied deeply about it. There he shares all these things. Okay, and he even says that it will increase, no doubt. So that shows that his depth study about it. Got it? Now, he also said there is R&D wing. R&D means research and development. Okay. Now, what were your experiences at the presidential entrepreneurship? Other question is about his achievements. Actually, he got chance to attend this entrepreneurial summit. This entrepreneur summit held in Washington. That is a type of achievement he had. Okay, so with that he says what actually he had then after he attended that entrepreneurship summit. He had another offer. What actually he says? Okay, then finally the last the question is to give advice to students on entrepreneurship. So what is his advice to the coming entrepreneurs, one who wants to start new business? What actually his advices? So he says that very important. See that line. It's important to dream, but it is equally important to take a calculated risk to achieve your dream. Very important. You all have to keep these words in your mind always, right? So we all may have dream. Okay, we keep dream with us. So the same way, it is important to take a risk, calculated risk to achieve your dream. So this type of attitude we all should create with us. With this, he concluded this interview. Now you all read and get all these important points and keep all these points in your memory. That's all for you. Thank you.